the Bunnyman Bridge. Deep within the quiet, unassuming landscape of Fairfax, Virginia, there lies an ordinary train bridge. It spans a forgotten creek, its concrete and steel weathered by time and the elements. Yet this isn't just any bridge. It's the chilling heart of a local legend, a story whispered in hushed tones when the sun dips below the horizon. This legend casts a long, cold shadow of fear, stretching far beyond the bridge's humble span. It's a tale that has seeped into the very soil of the community, a dark stain on the otherwise peaceful suburban veneer. For decades, it has haunted the dreams and imaginations of those who dare to listen. The story itself is rooted firmly in the early 1970s, a time when innocence still clung to the edges of the American dream. But even then, a terrifying figure began to emerge from the local folklore, a creature of nightmare known only as the Bunnyman. His name alone sends a shiver down the spine. He is described not as a beast, but as something far more unsettling. A man clad in a grotesque white rabbit suit, his form a twisted parody of childhood innocence. This spectral figure is said to stalk the dense, overgrown woods surrounding the bridge, a silent sentinel of dread. The legend of the Bunnyman didn't just appear. It gained its notoriety through a series of increasingly gruesome events. These were not isolated incidents, but a pattern of terror that began to weave itself into the fabric of local life. The first whispers started with couples. Young lovers, seeking a moment of privacy, would often park their cars near the secluded bridge after dark. They reported an unnerving sensation, a feeling of being watched from the impenetrable darkness of the trees. It was a subtle unease that quickly escalated into something far more sinister. From the depths of the woods, the Bunnyman would emerge, a silent, hulking silhouette against the moonlit sky. His intentions were never clear, his presence alone a chilling statement. He would simply stand there, observing, before melting back into the shadows, leaving behind a lingering sense of dread. But the story truly escalated with a specific, horrifying attack that cemented the Bunnyman's place in local lore. It was a night like any other, a young couple parked in their car, the quiet broken only by the chirping of crickets. Then, a sudden jarring noise echoed from their car's roof. The boyfriend, brave or perhaps foolish, got out to investigate the unsettling sound. He vanished into the darkness, leaving his girlfriend alone in the car, her heart pounding in her chest. Minutes stretched into an eternity, each second amplifying her terror. When she finally dared to look, what she saw would haunt her forever. Her boyfriend was hanging from the bridge, suspended by his feet, his body swaying gently in the night breeze. His throat had been slit, a gruesome testament to the Bunnyman's brutality. An axe, still dripping with a dark, viscous liquid, was found embedded in the vehicle's hood. It was a stark, terrifying signature. But the horror didn't end there. A chilling message had been left behind, scrawled in blood across the car's windshield. The words were stark, primal, and utterly terrifying. "Don't trespass." It was a warning, a declaration of ownership over the dark domain of the bridge, etched in the lifeblood of an innocent. The message solidified the legend, giving it a tangible, horrifying reality. Following the gruesome discovery, police investigations were launched, thorough and extensive. Detectives scoured the area, interviewed witnesses, and followed every lead. Yet despite their efforts, the Bunnyman was never apprehended. He simply vanished, leaving no trace but the lingering fear. This failure to capture the culprit only solidified the legend's grip on the community. It proved that the threat was real, elusive, and ever-present. The bridge, once just a crossing, became a symbol of fear, a place whispered about in hushed tones. Locals, especially after dark, began to avoid the bridge entirely. It became a forbidden zone, a place where the veil between the mundane and the monstrous seemed dangerously thin. The fear was palpable, a heavy blanket that settled over the entire area, despite, or perhaps because of, the terror it inspired. The story has been passed down through generations. Grandparents warn their grandchildren. Parents caution their children, ensuring the legend's survival. It became a cautionary tale, a dark piece of local history. The bridge, ironically, also became a popular destination for thrill seekers and those brave enough to test the legend. They came, drawn by the morbid curiosity, hoping to catch a glimpse of the Bunnyman, or at least to feel the chilling presence of his domain. For those who truly wish to tempt fate, a specific ritual is associated with the legend, a dark invitation to the unknown. It's a dare whispered among friends, a challenge to the brave and the foolish. It begins with a visit to the bridge. One must dare to approach the bridge at the stroke of midnight, when the world is at its most vulnerable. To summon the Bunnyman, one must stand directly beneath the cold concrete archway. Then, with bated breath, you must whisper his name. 3 times the name Bunnyman must be uttered into the oppressive darkness. Each whisper is a step closer to the edge, a direct challenge to the entity that haunts this place. It's a call into the void, an invitation to terror. Upon whispering the final syllable, a chilling phenomenon is said to occur. Faint, deliberate footsteps can be heard above, echoing across the bridge's span. It's a sound that implies movement, a heavy, deliberate tread. It implies the Bunnyman is present. The consequences of staying too long, of lingering beneath the bridge after the footsteps begin, are dire. The legend warns of a swift, brutal end for those who overstay their welcome. The axe, the same one that claimed the young man's life, is presented as the ultimate threat. It's a reminder that this is not just a story, but a warning. The Bunnyman is not a figment of imagination to those who believe. He is a very real, very present danger. His territory is sacred, and trespassers pay the ultimate price. So, the story ends not with a resolution, but with a chilling question, a lingering thought that burrows deep into the mind. It dares you to consider the risk, the sheer audacity of challenging such a dark legend. It asks you to weigh the consequences. It dares you to consider the risk of staying, of letting curiosity override caution. What would happen if you stood there, frozen by fear, as the footsteps grew louder, closer? What horrors would unfold in the darkness? And it dares you to consider the risk of looking up, of peering into the blackness above, searching for the source of those ominous sounds. What would you see? What grotesque vision would be burned into your memory forever? This is the enduring power of the Bunnyman Bridge legend. It's a tale that transcends mere folklore, becoming a living, breathing entity of fear. It reminds us that some shadows are best left undisturbed, and some bridges are best left uncrossed after dark.